This week on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast, I'm talking about how to calculate and track your net worth. Today, I want to focus on how often you should update your net worth worksheet. So you've gone through the exercise, you've listed out all your assets and your liabilities, and you have this clear picture of what you own, your assets, and what you owe, your liabilities. And then you have your assets minus your liabilities, and that gives you your net worth. Great. Now, I talked yesterday about some of the benefits and what you can do next. The primary thing that you want to do is use that net worth figure to benchmark where your net worth is currently. I explained this in detail. You can use a calculation that gives you your expected net worth. So your expected net worth, this is from the Millionaire Next Door book, but I didn't come up with this. This is their calculation. I find it's an excellent benchmark for figuring out if you're on track for your goals. Your expected net worth is 10% multiplied by your age, multiply that by your income. That figure is your expected net worth. Then you can use that and compare that to your actual net worth. If your actual net worth is 2 times this amount, then you are a prodigious accumulator of wealth. You are well beyond where you need to be at this point in life, and you can rest assured that you're doing the right things and you're on track for financial stability over time. If your actual net worth roughly is equal to what your expected net worth is, then you're an average accumulator of wealth. For most people, that advice is going to be, just keep doing what you're doing. You may need to tweak some things here or there to optimize and improve, maybe have more cash or less cash, maybe have more liquid versus illiquid assets, maybe reduce your liabilities somewhat. But generally, you're on track for financial stability and health over time. If your actual net worth is less than half or about half of your expected net worth, then you're an under accumulator of wealth. By the way, I mentioned this briefly yesterday, and I want to emphasize it because I think it's important. There's a big difference between half of where you should be and right at where you should be. If you're at like 0.75, you're right in the middle. Don't get discouraged. You may need to make some additional tweaks. But the point is that we want to use this to benchmark. Are we making progress? That's one of the major benefits of the net worth is, are you making progress over time? It's like trying to lose weight or some other goal. If you look at yourself 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, are you getting better? Are you improving? Is your health better? Is your financial health better? Or are you stagnant, or is it declining? Well, the same thing is true with your wealth. So once you know your net worth, once you know kind of where you fall, if you need to work harder to catch up, if you're doing all the right things, wherever you fall in that, we can use that to benchmark your net worth. And so you use these 2 pieces of information, your actual net worth, and then where you are, or how you're making progress compared to where you should be based on your age and your income. And then you want to look at this, I would say annually. You don't have to do it every year. But if you're behind, it can be beneficial because as you make progress, it's really hard to see like how far you've come. And so I think it is useful to benchmark your net worth, see where you are in a year from now compared to where you are today. And if you are already where you should be and you're on track, then it's also a good idea to benchmark that and take an inventory of your net worth annually. I wouldn't go more than about 2 or 3 years without doing this because a lot can change in that time. But if you're like, I don't really want to go through this exercise every year, I get that. I'm busy. Personally, I'm not going to do this every year. But if I was much closer to retirement, I am going to do it every year because I want to see in the last 3 to 5 years for retirement, am I tracking? I want to hone in on what I need to do differently. Do I just need to keep on keeping on? So that is very, very important to do this as you approach retirement. You could do it less often if you're a little bit further away or if you're not have any major financial goals. I would also do this every year, maybe every 6 months if I was saving up for a major financial goal. Maybe I want to buy a vacation property or a rental property. I don't, but if I did, that would be something that would cause me, if I'm trying to save up for that, making sure that I'm optimizing my net worth. I have enough cash, liquid savings for a down payment, etc. But generally, I'd say every 1 to 2 years is good. And then you can update it, benchmark it, and see if you're on track. The other thing that I think is important to mention here is that first time you do a net worth statement, because you're gathering all these statements, the first time, especially if you're not that organized and you don't have these statements handy, many of you are quite organized and it would take you like an hour to complete this. Some of you, it could take days and weeks to dig up all the information to do that, to complete your net worth statement. So the first time you do it, depending on how organized you are, is probably the hardest. And then once you have that net worth statement, you just copy and you update each section, each category, and then you can compare the two. And it's really cool to see how far you've come over a year, 2 years, 5 years, etc. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Ashley Mitchikay, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips Podcast.